Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. The Champions League is back. It is Atletico Madrid. It is Liverpool. The toughest of Liverpool's Champions League group games awaits us, and I'm here to predict Jurgen Klopp's starting 11 for this one. I was close in the midweek game. I think I was one player out. And I'm trying to get this one perfect. And I think Jurgen's going to play a very, very strong squad in this one. I think the two Brazilian lads are going to come back in, starting with the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, who will be back between the sticks. At left back, I do think there's a shout for Kostas Tsimikas, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I do think Jurgen probably just starts Andy Robertson. I'm going Van Dijk and Joel Matip for this one. And then I'm going Trent Alexander-Arnold as well to round off Liverpool's strongest back five. In front of them, holding that midfield together in the six will be Fabinho. I'm then going to say that it's Naby Keita that plays alongside the captain, Jordan Henderson, in one of the 2-8s. And the front three, I think, stays the same. After sticking 5 goals in against Watford, I think Bobby Firmino keeps his place with Sadio Mane and Mo Salah flanking him. I'll go through some of the subs, or just all the other lads that are left. So we'll go Adrian, we'll go Queven Kelleher after a really good game the other night. Kanate, Nat Phillips, maybe. Gomez, Kostas Tsimikas, Nico Williams, Alexander Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner, Minamino, Divock Origi, and let's round it off there with Diogo Jota. So we know that Curtis Jones isn't going to be featured in this game. He's going to stay at home, try and get himself right for the Manchester United game. It doesn't look like Thiago's going to be fit either. And let me just talk through this midfield. I think I've gone with Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, and I think there's a shout there that it could be James Milner as well. Obviously takes him off, I think, with 8 minutes to play for Nico Williams at the weekend, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw James Milner there, or maybe the captain. Would you rest the captain against Atletico Madrid? I can't imagine that you would. So really, it was between the two of them. It was between Naby and it was between Jimmy for that starting slot in midfield. Fabinho and Alisson are almost definitely coming back into this game. It is going to be a tough game. It's going to be difficult, but Naby Keita, with his 23 pressures and 8 times he won the ball back at the weekend, just about gets the nod over James Milner. Oh, to be fair, gets an assist at the weekend. And he put in a good performance as well, didn't he? What I was thinking about the Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas thing, and I will get to the comments shortly, right? I'm going to put Kostas on the board there, just while I'm talking about him. I think this is going to be a tough game. I know it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be one of them like where we go over to Porto and just slot goals for fun against Atletico Madrid. It will never be that. But I do think that defensively, yes, we might be missing a little something for not playing Andy Robertson. But I think this game could be decided by set pieces or a moment, a great delivery. Kostas, I really enjoyed seeing him whip those corners in this season. You know, we've scored quite a few goals from set pieces this season already. Kostas has been a part of that. I just wonder whether him coming in and getting, 25, 27 minutes, something like that, there or thereabouts at the weekend, whether that actually, rather than my normal viewpoint would be he's resting Robertson so that he can play him again. I just wonder whether Kostas is going to get the nods. I don't think he will, I'll be honest, but I wouldn't mind seeing Kostas in this game, and that tells me a lot about how he's changed my perception of him over the course of this season so far, this young season so far. Other than that, let's get into some of the comments and stuff then again, because I'm sure people will be talking about Joe Gomez. First comment I noticed, David Barton. Gomez for Matip, in my opinion. Ahmed Malik, Kanate for Matip. Until Jurgen shows me that he's going to play Kanate in a huge game, I'm going to keep picking Matip and Joe Gomez over him. And that's not because I don't think he's a good player. I just think we're taking our time with him. Let him just get to know that system, learn from the 3 lads in front of him and use him for what he kind of is. There's going to come a point in a few months' time where he's going to be absolutely chomping at the bit to get a performance in, get in the side and all that type of stuff. And that'll come. We've obviously got a cup game in a couple of weeks' time and whatever. So, you know, maybe it's a week's time. I think he's going to get a start there. The Gomez one for Matip I will talk about, though, because I do think, like, Gomez, he's probably, well, he's ahead of Kanate in the pecking order for me anyway. We know that he's got the ability to be that number 1 centre-half along with Virgil van Dijk, but he's had to wait patiently, and he's probably thought, you know what, Matip will pick up an injury by now, and it's just not happened, which is great because Matip's playing at an absolutely unbelievable level. But I could see the Gomez one, I really could, David. But again, play Matip when he's fit because you just don't know when he's going to get injured. Is Thiago back, CG Gaming? Doesn't look like it, no. Van Dijk says no. Matip must play, says Lawrence, and he's vetoed it as well, which is nice. Give Ubu a game, says Korthu. Key to start says, I think we play for a draw, take the sting out of the game early and make it hard for them, maybe pinch a late goal. I just think, like, you know, what are we at now? Is it like 6 games, something like that, where we've scored a minimum of 3 goals away from home? It's a ridiculous stat. I wish I knew it. But that's the thing that I'm looking at with this side going, yes, we played a good game against Atletico Madrid. Klopp mentioned it in his press conference when they obviously knocked us out at Anfield, but we played a much better game than we did in the first leg over in the one there. For me, I'm looking at this going, I'm backing these 3 lads to get on the score sheet. I'm backing that one of these breaks it and makes it difficult for Atletico Madrid. And I know they're not going to change their style per se straight away because we've scored a goal. They will continue to play how they play, but I just think we're a better side now than we perhaps were, and we're a bit more free-flowing and we score more goals than we did then. So I'm all right with it. And I think obviously with Diogo Jota and being able to bring him in and look for that goal that way, we've got options on the bench there if we do want to change things up. You know, it might be not your sort of normal change where you throw someone else, but changing that defender, Kostas Tsimikas, deliveries from corners change, etc., etc. I think we've got things. James Milner's got a great delivery on him as well. Ox maybe for a shot from distance. Minamino, Origi's proved that he can come in and get goals as well. So I'm liking the look of this squad at the moment. I wish we had Thiago and Kurt Jones available. Maybe that, like to Harvey Elliott, we don't. We've got to move on. These 3 lads plus Diogo Jota, and as I mentioned with maybe Minamino or Divock Origi, we could see something a bit special from these. I'm not saying 5-0, but I do think that Liverpool are going to go and get a win. I reckon Joe Gomez will start alongside Virgil van Dijk, says Lalu Pato. Revenge against Atletico Madrid, says Daniel Buttery, which I'm all in favour of a little bit of revenge. Other than that, I think obviously I've talked about the Milner for Keita thing. I can't imagine that Jurgen will play Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in this one. Do you think he's going to change out maybe a Mane for a Jota? That's an option that I've not really thought about. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's not forget that Jota is more than just a number 9. He could play on this side if you wanted to, if you want to keep Bobby Firmino on, and maybe bring Jota in from that left-hand side, because he scored a lot of goals from that left-hand side as well, you know, attacking that space. So maybe there's an option there. I just think it's too important a game against too good an opposition for me messing around with this side. I think it's just all about getting the best team that you can possibly get out. Naby Keita, as we know, his win percentage is absolutely ridiculous when he's in the side. And he proved how good a player he is once again at the weekend. If we win, are we mathematically guaranteed top spot? I very much doubt it. We'll have 9 points, and Atletico Madrid will have 4 points. So they could go to 13 points if we lost every one of our other games. So no, I don't think that's right. But thank you for that, John. What's the rotation going to be like for the United game? Techers Dave. Oh, don't. I've got a show to think about that one. That does make you wonder about, like, that's why I was thinking about the Kostas Tsimikas thing I mentioned about his crossing and stuff like that. But also there is that option to then just bring a fresh Andy Robertson in against Manchester United. I can't imagine we're going to see, you know, tons of changes, obviously, from the game of the weekend to the midweek game to Manchester United, but you can go, and then have that sort of midweek one where there is a bit more rotation and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be interesting. We should surprise Madrid with a 4-2-3-1 formation, says Akib Zia. Again, I just don't think, until Jurgen shows me consistently that he's going to play 4-2-3-1, I ain't going to do it. And I don't think it would matter to them. I think they play enough sides, probably in Spain, that play 4-2-3-1, that it won't make any odds to them. What we do have, and the difference between the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3 right now, is cohesion and chemistry. And when we play in that 4-3-3 formation, every player understands what every other player on that football field is going to do. And that is something that I think you're going to need against Atletico Madrid. Yes, you might surprise them, but you're not going to be as good in a 4-2-3-1 as you are in a 4-3-3 formation that you've played for 3-4 years. And that understanding and cohesion is there because not only they know their movement, but they know their movement and where they're supposed to be. And that balance is just slightly shifted. If you are just making a small sort of change to a 4-2-3-1 formation, I'd stick with what you know, especially when you're trying to break down one of the best defensive sides in world football with some absolutely top quality players to be able to do that. They're basically a world-class Burnley. And that's a concern. It's like Chelsea when they sat back with 10 men against us the other week, isn't it? They've got world-class players and they are really well drilled. It becomes very, very difficult to break a side down when world-class players are fighting and dying for every ball almost, and they're making it tough for you. That's Atletico Madrid. That's what they do. They love it, and we need to go back and make sure that they don't like it anymore. We love your show, Chris. It's Hassan02. Thank you so much for that one, mate. Need to be careful with Man United at the weekend, says Kim Cuckeran Morrison. Agreed. So there you go. That has been my starting 11 prediction. Let me know your starting 11 prediction in the comments section. Tell me why I'm wrong. But be nice about it. There's no need to be abusive. But no, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I'll be back on comms with Mr. Machin for this one. We'll be live, obviously, 1 hour before kickoff. Wait, it might be an hour and a quarter before kickoff because I think the team comes out slightly early. But we won't be as early as we were for the Porto game when Tom got the timings wrong. We'll be back tomorrow before the game at some point, and then we'll be back for the game. But if you've not finished sort of just enjoying the fallout from the weekend, we recorded the Final Word show on Redmen Plus, so you can go over there. We'll put a link in the description, redmentv.com. Sign up to Redmen Plus. You hear 3 grown men talk about Mo Salah's goal for around about an hour, and it's absolutely fantastic. Get involved with Redmen Plus. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.
Thanks so much for checking out the show this week. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, then do. But if you want more from us, extra Redmen shows, then go to the redmentv.com. You can support the channel at 2 levels, by Club Captain or Club Legend tier. Both get you a full suite of Liverpool-related content, extra Redmen shows, documentaries, features, and world-exclusive interviews. And Club Legends get their names here and on the end of those videos, and free merchandise as well. Perfect time to sign up on the redmentv.com.